Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video, I'm going to be continuing my basic strategy guide, this time looking at lightning, but more specifically, the Pandemonium aspect. Let's get started here. We have Wetlands starting Explorer, and let's look at what this aspect is. So, just like in all of my previous basic strategy videos, I'm going to talk about the entire spirit, and then because we're talking about an aspect, I'm going to talk about how that aspect changes up the spirit and how to pilot it. So, Lightning's Swift Strike Pandemonium aspect, you're going to start with 2 presents and the highest number of sands, and the playstyle is going to be a lot of offense, less control. This should actually have a ton of fear, no defense, and a little bit of utility in this low complex spirit. Yeah, the summary of powers actually does not get altered, or at least the spirit board is not altering it for the aspect, but really the offense should probably drop and fear should go up. Probably defense should go a little bit up as well. Okay, Pandemonium. So you have a special rule, and this is Swiftness of Lightning. It says for every air card you have, you may make 1 slow power, or you may use 1 slow power as if it were fast. So if I'm playing Harbingers, Lightning's Boon, and Shatter, I'm going to have 3 air, which means I can make 3 of these cards fast, and that includes my innates. So it could be any of my powers. It doesn't have to be my cards, any powers that I have. Lightning is a 0, 2, 1. That means it has an option that reclaims, gains power cards and energy, a 2 presence placement option, and then a presence placement option that gives you a lot of energy. Lightning's tracks are some of the best in the game, ending at 5 energy in 6 plays. This plays track is the most aggressive plays track in the entire game. 6 plays on the track. There's no other spirit in the entire game that has this. There are some spirits that can reach high number of plays, but there's none that has 6 tied to the tracks. And you're actually able to access 6 plays with only G2ing twice on bottom tracks. So you can get access to it quite early on. And a lot of Lightning's builds, the broken builds, revolve around rushing to 6 plays and getting fed energy. Now, Lightning's innate power, it says Lightning Torn Skies, Incite Pandemonium. Now, this is what the Pandemonium aspect does for Lightning, and it changes this innate. And it is a slow power, sacred site range targeting a land with invaders. If you have the first tier, 2 fear and a strife. You have the second tier, 2 fear and an extra strife. The third tier adds moon. So normally with base lightning, it has water as the extra element. Pandemonium looks at moon. And both of these extra tiers can generate more fear and more strife. Now you're going to notice, compared to base lightning, Pandemonium Lightning, all of these tiers are cumulative. That means if I get the third tier here, I'm going to get 7 fear and 3 strife. Base Lightning, most of it, a lot of the time, reads like instead. Pandemonium, it's not the case. And this matters quite a lot for that first tier. Getting a 4 fire and 3 air is kind of like your sweet spot with the spirit for most of the game. And that's going to give you 4 fear and 2 strife. The 2 strife means you stop a city townland. And it also means that the 4 fear is a full fear card. So very cool. Looking at the 4 uniques, we have Harbingers of Lightning. It's a 0 cost fire air. And it is a slow power, 1 range, push up to 2 Dahan, and then you gain a fear if the Dahan enter a land with buildings. Lightning's Boon, it's a 1 energy fire air, target any spirit. Target spirit may use up to 2 slow powers as if they were fast. And this is one of Lightning's best combo or utility cards, allowing it to combo with other spirits, allowing them to go slow or make their slow powers fast, and it can open up a lot of different avenues. We have Raging Storm. It's a 3 energy slow power, fire, air, water, 1 damage to each invader. This card is pretty bad on Lightning. And, well, it's just a bad card in general. And because of Lightning's economy, it's a fairly difficult card to use. Now, there are going to be cases where it does help, especially into like Russia or maybe France, where you just have to use it just to maintain tempo. But a lot of times, it's just not a card you want to be playing. And lastly, we have Lightning's Shatter Homestead. It's a 2 energy slow power, fire, air, sacred site, 2 range. 1 fear, destroy a town. So this is going to kill towns and generate 2 fear. Now, the reason why I love Pandemonium over base lightning is Pandemonium is adding strife, which means you're going to nullify the invader damage to the land and to Dahan, and you have a Dahan push card. So you're able to set up these Dahan counterattacks. Normally, this innate just does raw damage, and it's nice as you're able to hyper pockets, but you have this Dahan movement card and you don't have a defend. So it's just a very clunky card in your kit, and I just feel like there's more interaction with the Pandemonium aspect, and it's just really fun to be able to generate crazy number of fear. Okay, so Pandemonium Lightning versus Base Lightning, they play very similarly, and that is you're going to choose your G2 going top to 2 energy, and then you're going to choose your G2 going bottom, and then you're just not going to play any cards the first turn. And the idea is you want to hit this innate the second turn, and then you're going to enter a small reclaim loop. So I'm going to show you what I mean. G2, I'm going to go top, and I start in the sand, so I'm going to access the sands over here. When I'm placing these sacred sites, I want to enter lands such that I can hit all of the lands on my board. So that means my next sacred site will go over here in B8. I'm not going to play any cards. Some players, they'll play Shattered Homestead on turn 1, and then next turn they'll choose G3 going bottom track, and then they'll play Lightning's Boon, Harbingers, and Raging Storm. I do not like doing that opening. Against higher diff adversaries, it runs out of tempo. Against lower diff, you're okay. Now I'm going to show you why I'm underplaying here. Let's let them build. Let's let them explore. Okay. And I already said I'm going to G2 bottom here. All right. And I want to play Lightning Spoon, Harbingers, and Shatter. So the whole point why I didn't play any cards on turn 1 is because I want to hit this innate on turn 2. Now, if I played any cards on turn 1, I would not be able to hit the innate on turn 2 unless I choose G3, which means I'm playing less cards, so I would only have 2 energy in 3 plays. But since I got to G2, I'll have 2 energy in 4 plays on my reclaim, which means I'll have access if I draw a fire card. It's about a 50% chance I draw a fire card to get this tier on turn 2, and then you enter that reclaim loop for a little bit. Now, Lightning does a very similar build, so... Okay, so now I have my innate. I'm going to use that here. Remember, adding the fear, adding the strife, and now that land is solved. I'm going to take the Blight to Scale here on my wetlands, and then usually if there's Dahan here, based on if there's Dahan or not, I would then use my Harbingers to mobilize or move Dahan. So I'll use those cards in the slow. Promising Farmland, Dahan defend, sure. Add a beast, Dahan defend. Kill the town, take the Blight to Scale, build sands, and the Explore is jungle, and one of these has to be a town. I'm going to put the town over here, and I'm going to do my Harbingers. Actually, first we'll use my Shatter Homestead, killing the town here, and then I'm going to use my innate over here on the sands. And as you guys can see, I've kind of like have my I'm like ahead of tempo because I took the Blight to Scale of my wetlands, and this is a good example of doing that. So next turn, I use my innate there, strifing the land. The following, and then in the slow of that turn, I kill the town here. The following turn, I strife here, and then I kill whatever town is building. And as you guys can see, I've basically solved like the next, all of stage 2, because there's no escalation. I've solved all of this already, just with this build. Now I'm going to use Harbingers to move that Dahan over here to this jungle, because I want to have 3 Dahan to clear out the city and the town. I'm going to reclaim. Now, the name of the game with Lightning is you want fire cards, but most specifically you want a Moonfire is good. Defends are also great, but really you want 0 cost cards. Now, I didn't get any zeros. I did get a Moonfire that's a defend 5. This is a very, very good card here. I mean, Bat Scout is another amazing pickup here, as I could use this to kill buildings, so like I can use it over here on B8. So I will probably do, I'll probably grab Bat Scout. Actually, let's back up a step. Let's go with the power card game. I'll grab the defend 5 just to be safe. And we're gonna play these 3 cards. Now, if I drew a 0 cost card, I could play it. Because I have 4 card plays. I could play this single one cost, but you'll notice I have 4 energy here, and my energy economy is only 2 plus 1 a turn. So I only can do this turn once, and I don't want to do it this turn. So fortunately, we missed on the 0 cost. We'll use the innate to strife this, and just like you saw last turn, I'm not going to do anything. I already told you what I'm going to do. Rising interest, perfect. We are just going to pay for it. It's a free pay because I'm reclaiming next turn. I can add a beast. There we go. We can add a wilds. I'm going to add the wilds over here to my sands, preventing if it's coast or the sands follow-up. Strife in a land with the Han. I'm going to add that strife here. Strife in a land. This is actually really funny. So this one means invaders are going to have less health with strife. And then this card is invaders are all going to take damage per strife they have. So when you combo with these cards, this town is literally just going to kill itself. Look at that. That's hilarious. We get another one. Fear cards. Sure. There's the Explorer. There's the back-to-back. And that's also why it's a good idea to grab Domesticated, is in case I was going to have issues with, like if the back-to-back occurred. Now, I'm going to play Harbingers here, throwing the Han into my my jungle here, and then I'll Shatter Homestead there. So this is where I have some options. I'm so freaking far ahead here. I can actually choose to G2 bottom and just underplay here, which is what I'm going to do. And because I drew that defend, oh, I actually can't. Okay, let me back up here. This is funny. I'm going to Homestead here. So I actually, I can't domesticate it into my B4 because there's no buildings if I killed that town. But now there is, so I can play the card. So I'm underplaying this turn just so that now I can enter a complete reclaim loop, always reclaiming at 6 plays. And there's really nothing that they can do at this point. Sure, beast attack, dead. Add the Dahan, dead. And fortify, it will be sands. Perfect. Now we just reclaim, and like I said, name of the game is 0 cost. There it is, Rain of Blood, nice 0 cost fear card, everything we want. I could have grabbed that fire air as well, but I mean, I just want to play zeros at this point. And as you guys can see, I have my tons of innates, so very powerful here. I'm just playing domesticated because it generates fear. The only reason. Or not generates fear, because it gives me 2 fear on my innate. And I don't think I do anything here. I just wait for the slow for all my cards. Sure. Add to Han. Sure. Sure. Mountain is the follow-up. Cool. So let's use my Rain of Blood. We'll use my innate, adding all the strife, Shatter Homestead here, Harbingers, perfect, and reclaim, do it again. There's another card, Moon Air, here's another one with Veil. This is where I can see if Here There Be Monsters is the card to pick, as I have to see how much fear I have left, and it is definitely the card to pick here. I could play Veil to take out this land on B1, but Here There Be Monsters generates me so much fear. I feel like I have to. There we go. So, we have the innate again. All of the strife. I have Rain of Blood. I have Here There Be Monsters for 3 more fear. And that is it. That is GG. The Pandemonium game. Yeah, so Pandemonium, I mean, this is the power of the spirit. You're generating so much freaking fear. You have counterattack damage. It's my preferred way to play lightning outside of sparking, which is a nature incarnate aspect. I find it fun. It's not a good play pattern. The fact that I'm reclaim looping. If the spirit was ever remade, they would definitely fix all of the nonsense reclaim looping and all that. But yeah, it just something about it to me is very therapeutic. I love playing it. Hopefully this basic strategy guide was helpful for someone trying to learn Lightning Pandemonium. And once again, the strategy I showcased here can be translated with base Lightning. It's not as good, but it still works out pretty well. If you like this video, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.